you? Who are you?
Hello, welcome to my video on Severance. This show works well to argue the case about how fundamental tarot is to scriptwriters. If you're not familiar with the ideas talked about, check out my introductory video that explains the concepts. I will be walking you through the first season, where the cards are presented from 0 to 21. I encourage you to watch the show first, and then come back to this video if you haven't seen it, just to see how subtle and unsubtle some of the cards can be. Then watch it again with these concepts in mind. You may notice many pieces of media begin with the character waking up, as in this show, being born, or not having any memory or losing their memory, or a combination of these. This, of course, isn't a coincidence. This is introducing the Fool card. In the case of Helly, she has no memory, and her innie is essentially being born on the table. As an example, if you were to have someone wake up for the first time on a table, wouldn't you put them flat on their back? Instead, Helly is placed nearly face down, as if she has fallen. The reason she looks as if she's fallen is because that is what is about to happen to the Fool in its card. And because the tarot is cyclical and begins where it ends, this also has references to Sophia in the World card, card number 21. I will put up this card from a different deck from the 90s, as it fits pretty well with this opening set. As you can see, the chairs are representing the 12 signs of the zodiac. You'll come to see that every little thing on frame is completely intentional. So we have the beginning and we have the end, the cards 0 and card 21. Another thing that cements Helly as the Fool is seen later in the show. Helly is holding a bouquet of white flowers. This is, of course, reminiscent of the Fool and his white rose.
Who are you?
That's the first question? I don't...
Feel free to say unknown.
What is this?
Okay, so that's unknown, unknown, Delaware, unknown, unknown.
And now that we know we are on a tarot story, we can expect to see many more characters introduced. Typically, cards will be introduced in chronological order, with little deviations. The next character we meet is Mark, who at the moment is playing the role of the magician. This scene of Mark going up and down on the elevator is reminiscent of the magician card's hands while he is performing the right hand pointing up and the left hand pointing down. This card with this hand symbol can be interpreted as the saying, as above, so below. And just like the elevator, Mark was once above and is now below. Two consciousnesses sharing the same body.
Oh, hello.
We then meet our next card, the High Priestess. She is all about duality, as can be seen by her two pillars, Boaz and Yahim. Kobel is wearing blue, as is the High Priestess, and her cup is a copy of the Priestess's pillars.
Hey.
Hey.
The next major card introduced is the Empress. The Empress represents the mother, played by Devon, Mark's sister, who is a pregnant and soon-to-be mother.
Did you forget?
There's our captain.
Next, we meet Rickon, who is playing the Emperor of the Tarot. Just as the Empress is the mother, the Emperor is the father.
I love seeing the sunrise on his face.
In Lumen, there is a huge cult-like dogma that is built around the work that Lumen is doing. To the people working at Lumen, especially the innies, it is their religion. Here, we are introduced to the original leader of that religion, Kier. In the tarot, this would equal the Hierophant.
You know, he used to drink 3 raw eggs and milk each morning.
This is the Lover card. One of the more misunderstood cards. It represents making a hard decision between two options and the end of relationships. Here, Mark is having to make the hard decision to let Petey go and accept Helly in his place. The next card introduced is Grainer. He's called in the show by his bosses whenever they need muscle. He is representing the Chariot card, which is a soldier who is obedient to his masters.
Perhaps you better come with me.
Mr. Grainer.
Oh,
Children's brain health.
nice. The WMC's up for that.
Who?
You know, most severed.
Okay, come on.
Now we come to the Strength card, which is used in an interesting way. The card depicts a woman taming a lion. Mark is the lion. He has a beast inside himself. While on a date with a woman, he drinks a bit too much and has a confrontation with some protesting kids. He lets his inner beast out. His date de-escalates and calms down the situation, temporarily taming the beast.
Mrs. Selvig.
Peace offering. Well, I'm experimenting with chamomile, so no hard feelings if you gag.
Then we come to a scene where Mrs. Selvig is looking for a truce while offering chamomile cookies. The effects of chamomile are a slight sedation and relaxing property. Another woman character again taming the beast. Then, Mark goes down and seeks solace with his wife's candles. It's shown later that the candles have a scent. This is another woman character, his wife, calming him down. Also, in the box with the candle, there's a 35 on the box. So 3 plus 5 is, of course, 8, the number of the card. Here, Petey is associated with the Hermit card. He was in Pips, which is the restaurant in episode 1, but now he is properly introduced where he belongs, the one who goes off on their own to seek knowledge. Mark is also seeking knowledge by skipping work. The scene before this has Helly and Dylan pondering on what the purpose of their work could be. Also, going back to the idea that tarot is cyclical, Petey's address is at 499 Half Loop Road. Half loop as in halfway through the tarot cycle. Mark then invites Petey to his house to live in the basement. He then tells Petey, lights on the left, solidifying the Hermit card.
What even are these numbers? Like, do we even know what we're supposedly cleaning?
But what is it? Like, what are we actually working on down there? Lights on the left. Lights on the left.
Fortress of Solitude. I still think wait on Sever, because that's going to work. Reintegration.
See here where Petey is sitting in the dark looking to the light on the left of the card.
Well, I've never seen a resignation request get such a quick turnaround.
The Wheel of Fortune. This card is tricky to explain, but it has a theme of endlessness, just as there is no end to a spinning wheel. It seems like there is no escape because you're on the wheel. This is represented in Helly's request to leave being rejected. She is stuck on a wheel that seemingly has no stop. As Mark implies and specifically uses the words, I've never seen a resignation request get such a quick turnaround. It's signifying that Helly has no escape.
It's left at his door from someone. Open it, would you? Oh, God. Oh, God.
This is the Bible, by the way. As a further indication, there is an evergreen branch tied to the book. I don't think I need to explain what an evergreen represents. As I said in the introductory video, there are 3 big stories. This is part of the Christ story.
Is this the brother-in-law?
Rickon, his 5th book.
I think that to be an Egan, either a true
Here you can see the Justice card is being introduced. The woman in red and the scale.
Anyone working in this Lumen family, what you are is...
I have identified 4 components, which I call tempers.
The 4 tempers Egan is talking about represents the 4 suits of the tarot. As you can see here, the 4 elements are very fundamental to the tarot system.
This way, please, Helior.
Later on, Heli tries to escape and sets off the red alert. This Justice card is very red-coded. Heli also gets a cut on her right arm, indicating to the sword on the card.
You still don't mean it.
She is then brought to the break room for her justice. And here we come to the fundamental explanation of the whole show, with a tiny little piece of writing from Petey that I believe is the most important part of the show. It says, "We're here because we're not all there." This story is about the mind. The innie is the subconscious. The outie is the conscious. As said in my intro video, this is a story of 2 opposites becoming one, aka the conscious and the subconscious. This is how Lumen is shaped. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what the shape is.
Sometimes I ask people to sculpt how they feel out of clay.
I is for eyes.
Seems like you're getting the hang of stuff here.
Not much needs to be said about this scene. This is the Hanged Man, looking at the world in an upside-down way, associated with a change in perspective, which is what all of the characters are going through during this time in the show. Also, when asked to sculpt how he feels, Mark sculpts a tree. This is the tree in the background of the card. The Death card. The Death card is associated with death as well as rebirth. This card was alluded to earlier in the show with Petey's funeral, but what's important about the card being here is that a baby is also being born. The tarot, which is ever cyclical, here as well, with a death connected to a birth. Also of note is the twilight sun, just as in the card. The point where the sun goes from being dead at night to being born during sunrise. The next scene is, as Milchek says, Innie Heli's first conscious experience after the hanging. This is also Heli's rebirth from death.
So this will be Innie Heli's first conscious experience since the hanging.
You ran a 266 on Irving B. You ran a 266 on Irving B. You ran a 266 on Irving B.
At this point, Milchek sends a picture to scare Irving away from O&D. However, when Mrs. Cobell asks him about it, she calls it a 266. 2 plus 6 plus 6 is 14. The number of the next card, Temperance. Mark then spills his cup, just like the angel is spilling their cup in the card.
Oh, no. Ugh, I'm so sorry, Miss Casey.
This is where Miss Casey is helping to keep Helly calm and temperate, which is Miss Casey's job, to keep emotional temperance.
Are you upset?
No, I'm...
It isn't time.
The Devil card. Goats are associated with the devil and Satanism for the reason being that, as opposed to lambs, who are obedient and talked about in the Bible, goats are disobedient. The devil is also associated with Saturn, who is the god of time. As the man holding the goat says, it's not time.
There's definitely no painting by that name.
The next scene shows Bert being escorted back to his department while his hands are bound by a belt. It looks as if he is holding the belt on his hands, as if to signify that it could slip off if he wasn't holding it. The card of the devil has a very important detail, that the prisoners have a shackle around their neck. However, the shackle is loose enough that the prisoners could remove it at any time. The prisoner is also the jailer. In the show, it's revealed that Lumen has two versions of the paintings, meant to scare the departments. This is indicated that Lumen uses fear to control them. This is what the devil card represents.
What kind of barbarities were we enacting?
Why the hell would there be two versions of the same painting?
The surest way to tame a prisoner is to let him believe he's free.
The Tower. This card represents sudden change and disruption. That's what's happening rapidly in the show. The lightning in the cartoon is indicating the lightning hitting the tower in the card. It shows that there are big changes evolving. The next scene is Dylan waking up at home and finding out he has a kid, but the seeds of change are happening in everyone in the show, including the outie Mark.
I've awoken you at home. I need to know where you put it.
Daddy!
What the fuck?
Gain your security card. Full access. Get rid of your clothes. Go now.
The star card represents the subconscious and the conscious working together. That's why water is being poured in the water and on the earth. As previously explained, the outie is the conscious and the innie the subconscious. The link between the two starts to shrink as Ragabi begins to help Mark merge the two. The item she gives Mark is a key card. This item joins Mark's innie and outie.
Did you say you need to get to the store?
They can do without me.
Later on, Devon is pouring 2 cups of tea, and you can hear birds in the background. Another reference to the star card. And when the conscious and the subconscious are working together, that's when the real thinking starts, and that's what the Innie gang starts doing.
You do you? Nope.
I'll be seeing you in that small.
My wife was extraordinary. My wife liked other people's dogs.
I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
The moon card depicts Isis mourning her dead husband, Osiris. Mark is crying as if he was Isis mourning his spouse. The Sun card, Horus as the child riding Isis as the white horse. Horus being the sun and Isis being the moon is the union of the conscious and the subconscious, or male and female. Heli is playing the role of the sun, Mark is the moon. In this kissing scene, we are seeing the drama of an eclipse, the two becoming one with the kiss. The Sun card is also shown by the innies and the outies all crossing over and working together. The Sun card is representing a celebration, which is the waffle party, of course.
What?
Judgment. Time to see if all this work is enough to make the cut. This is the Judgment card. This card is very gray-coded. The stormy cloud pictured is the one on the card. The characters on the card are gray as well. Also, Irving holds up his dog's tag. The dog's name is Radar. The acronym RADAR is Radio Detection and Ranging, meaning it is somewhat of an assessing device, or another way to judge things. Another key element of the Christ story. Dylan is being crucified. He is sacrificing himself to save others while on a metaphorical cross.
Sorry.
And here is another instance of the Bible.
Sorry. Sorry.
Forgive me for the harm I have caused this world.
And finally, we come to the end of our journey with the world card. Mark finds the picture of him and Miss Casey on their marriage day. One of the strong meanings of the world card is marriage. It's one of the reasons so many movies end in a marriage. Helly apologizes for what she has done to the world.
Egan!
Thank you, Natalie.
The sliding doors emphasize the light shining through Helly's forehead. I think you know what this light is symbolic for. Helly is wearing a sash on her dress, just like Sophia in the world card, and surrounded by a wreath. This completes Helly's journey from 0 to 21. In closing, a few other notes. Every person in the gang represents a suit of the tarot, but I'll let you discover that for yourself. There is some excellent use of doublespeak in this movie as well. For example, the company is called Lumen, meaning illumination. However, their whole drive is to separate the conscious and subconscious. This is seen when Miss Casey gives Mark the final wellness session, and Seth says to Cobell,
You know it's good, right? That they don't remember each other. It's a win.
This is the opposite of illumination. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.